along, you know, the one that's in the video. But anyway, let's just get started. So we're going to take a look at our song here, Swan Lake, obviously. And we have to determine what key we're in. Why is that important? Well, it's important because you really don't want to, or you really want to have a good understanding on what notes are contained in the song. So you have to know, all right, what notes are sharp, what notes are not sharp. So what key are we in? What do you think? Well, if you know a bit about music theory, then that key is going to be A minor. You may have said C major, which would also be correct if since there's no sharps, no flats. But I know it's A minor because the beginning, when I bring in the first left-hand chord with the right-hand note here, and I bring them close together, well, that's an A minor chord, so that's one thing that tips me off. And then the very last chord is part of an A minor chord. We're actually missing what we call the fifth, and you double the root. So I just wanted to go over that really quick because it's important to know so you know what notes you're going to be playing in the song. So here we go. I recommend you start with 1 and 3 on the C and A respectively. And for the left hand, that's all you do for the first line. That's it. I think we've mastered it already. Now the right hand, you have 2 measures of rest. And you're going to come in and you're going to hit E with finger 5. You know, it's a half note, and you have B or A, B, C, D, E, C, E, C. Remember to keep your fingers curved while you play. That just helps you play up and down the keyboard a little bit better rather than having those flat fingers. So you have E, A, B, C, D, E, C, E, C, and then on the next line starts E. So now when we're going to put them hands together for this first line. So you have 8 of these before you come in. Since there's 4 quarter notes in each measure, you have 2 measures. If you notice, I played it nice and slow. So you're going to, when you come in with your right hand, hit those together, you're going to have 1 more of these with the left hand by itself. And then with these eighth notes, remember that there's 2 eighth notes per quarter note. So with this A and the B, it's going to hit along with that A and the C down at the bottom. When I hit the C and the D, I'm going to play only 1 more of those up there. So it's going to go. And now here we have the E again hitting with this little left hand thing here. You're going to play 2 of these. And then if you notice, we have an eighth note in between there. So that last measure is going to go. So let me play the whole first line. And then actually I started going to the next line. I tend to do that a lot because I'm just used to playing it, you know, through. So the next line, what you're going to do is you're going to hit, we'll do the right hand first. You're going to hit E up top with your pinky, and then you're going to go, I would move to hit finger 2 on the A here. And the reason behind it is when you go up to the C here, you come back to A, it wants you to hit E there. So to be able to hit E with your thumb, you want to hit that A with 2. So you got E, A, C, A, E, C, A. So again, from the beginning of that line, E, A, C, A, E, C, A. You know, with that finger 2 there. And then after that, you have a short rest, only for half of a beat, and then you have D, C, B, and now we're in the third measure over. So you got the E again, just basically like you're starting the song again, exact same thing as the line above it. Let me zoom it in a little bit for us. So again, this whole line goes. And then a little gap there. Now, along with the left hand actually has the A and the C from before for the first 2 in that first measure, and then you're going to go down to F, A. I would play that with 2 and 4. So you're going to go. And then you have E and G sharp. So it's going to go. And then 3 more of these A and C's. You're going to see a lot of those in here. because that's part of the A minor triad. And then for the rest of the measure, you just have those A's and C's again. So the left hand just for the second measure, or second line, sorry. Not too bad. So when we put it hands together, remember that we're going to do what? We're going to go super fast? No. We're going to go nice and slow, right? Now the tricky part here is you're going to hit these together, the E up here and the AC down there. You're going to hit 2 of those with the left hand. And as soon as you hit this, soon after you hit the second one, you're going to move to A there. So, oops. Remember to hit A with finger 2, right? Oh, I messed up a little bit there because I was supposed to move chords there. So again, play it nice and slow. So the first measure again. And it's just like the top line again. So I'm just going to play what we have so far. You can follow along with me. And there we have it. Let me scroll up to the next line. And here we have, this is where we're at. We have an E. Hey, we've seen that before, so I'm not going to go over it. Remember just to hit, after you hit the E on that line, you're going to hit A with 2. And that's because when you hit the thumb here, you want to be able to hit that on the E. And now what you want to do is you want to, so we're in the second measure over where you have the half note A, right? And then you have quarter rest. You have A, and then the next measure is B, C, D. And then I would cross there somewhere. Let me think about where it would be good. That's what I like. Okay, so I think what we're going to do here is when you play, this is coming into the third measure over where you have, you know, right before that you have the quarter rest and then you have this A. And then you're going to hit B with 2. C with 3. Now the important part here is when we're going to hit this D, I'm going to cross my thumb underneath. So you're going to play A, B, C, and then I'll cross under to hit D with my thumb. And that'll give me enough room to play this E, F, G. I have enough fingers for that. And then actually we need to even take it one step further because then it goes F, E, and then at the very end of that line it's going to go F, G. And the beginning of the next line you have an A there. So you have to hit that with the pinky. So beginning from right before the third measure over, you got the A, B, C, cross under to hit D, E, F, G, F, E, F, G. And then we're going to do the left hand. We actually did this before. So remember, you can watch parts of the video again and again if you need to. So here's something new. You have G and B, right? I play that with 1 and 3. F and G with 1 and 4, and then E and G. And then for the next line I would move down, but we'll keep it where it is for now. So I'm going to put it together. Remember, you're going to hit the E together with the A and the C, just like so many times before. And you play 2 of those for the left hand, and then you come in with that A there. So like I said, whenever I'm playing along from the left to the right on the line, feel free to play along with me. I'm going to do it one more time. Oh, I forgot to cross there. That's going to cause me problems. So I'm going to start there from again. Remember when I hit the C, I'm going to cross under to hit the D there. Now for the next line, remember that we set it up so we can hit this A here, that first note in our right hand with the 5 with pinky. Then you have G, F, And then I would change there, actually. I would play the A with the 5 and the G with 3, middle, F with 2, and then that's going to set you up to be able to hit this B up here. So you have G, A, and then the beginning of the next measure is B, A, E, C, B, A. So let me give you the fingering for that. So the A, you're going to hit with finger 5 because that's kind of how we built up to it from the measure before. And then I would hit, you know, kind of scrunch up your hand a little bit, not to where it's uncomfortable. I would hit that G with finger 2, F with finger, or 3, sorry, F with finger 2. And then you have the G, A with 3 and 4, B with 5. So take note that whenever we're changing hands or moving fingers, we're really doing that to accommodate, to be able to play up and down the keyboard more effectively. Because the last thing you want to do, for instance, I want to play the C major scale, right? So I play from C to G. The last thing you want to do is not, you know, change at the right place, because then you have to play the last 3 notes all with the pinky, and that makes it sound disjointed. So that's why it's so important we get that fingering. But anyway, you start from that A at the beginning of the measure. You got A, or 5, 4, 5, 3, 2, and then you have 3, 4, 5 on the B, then A with 4, and then I would do E with 1, your thumb, cross over to hit C with 3, B with 2, A with 1. Then on measure 3, same kind of thing we had before, where you have B, C, and then I'm going to cross to hit the D with my thumb, E, F, G, F, E. So we had this before as well. Now with the left hand, we're going to be down at D and F. Now this is probably the hardest part with the left hand. You're going to hit B. This is the second measure over, by the way. B with 5. You're going to hit 3 on D sharp, 1 on A, and then you're going to have E and G sharp. So it's going to go just like that. So just try that a few times. Then in the next measure, we have G and B. This is the third measure over. Actually, it's just like the line up top. So luckily they cut us a break that way, that there are lots of parts that are repeated. So here we go, both lines, or yeah, both treble clef and bass clef together for this line. Feel free to follow along with me. Oh, I didn't use my fingering. Let me try again. Keep in mind that I played it nice and slow there. Playing it again. And then you want to go, whoops. There you go. Now we're on the last page here. So we now have, we're at the top of the page. So we got A, G, F with your right hand, right? So we have a B flat coming up the beginning of that next measure. So we have to figure out how we're going to get our hands in position for that. So you want to go A, G, F, and then G, A. The problem, the fingering I had right there is that we ran out of fingers. So you don't want to do that. So you want to go A, and then I would play G, kind of like we did before with 3, F with 2, and that gives us enough room to move and hit the pinky on the B flat up there. And then I would actually play the next F with 3, D with 2, and yeah, and then the next 2 eighth notes, the end of that second measure, you have F, B flat, and then I move your pinky up to B, F sharp, B, and then basically we're back at the beginning of the song again. So you got E, E, A, B, C, D. So let's go over the right hand again, since the fingering is so tricky. So you want to go 5 on the A, and then 3 on the G. So that's where it's going to change. And that way you have enough fingers to play the B flat there. You want to extend your hand a little bit and play 3 on F, D on 2, and then F, B flat, and move your thumb up, or pinky up, that's the one, the B, F sharp, B, and then the E's you want to hit with finger 3, because that sets you up to play the beginning of the piece again. So we're really in the home stretch. After this line, I think it's all stuff we've talked about already. So if you feel like you're learning something, always give a thumbs up. Let others know that you learned something from this lesson. So we're going to go on to the next. Well, actually, we had to play it hands together. That's what we do. So am I going to go super fast? No. Remember, very slow. Oh, let me do my fingering. And by the way, the left hand here, some of these we saw before, D and the F. And then this time you have B flat and F. And then this one's going to be, this is the third measure over B natural. If you ever wonder what that sharp looking sign is that isn't a sharp, it looks like a sharp and you broke it on something. That's the natural, so it's just regular B, and then A, and then you have E and G sharp, and then there's 4 A's and C's. So I'm going to do this line again, hands together, very slow. Oops. And then for the next 2 lines, it's basically like we are starting the piece all over again. So you can rewatch, the earlier parts of the lesson if you need a grasp on those. So here we go. Now, why did I slow down there a little bit at the end where it says RIT, which stands for retardando, meaning to slow down. So now that we have the basic notes down, I want to talk about a few more steps on how do you perfect this piece? How, if you were getting ready to play this for somebody and really wow them, it is a simpler piece, but, judging on how you play and what our next steps are, you can really move from just being able to play the notes like we just did to moving on to something else, much more musical. So how do I make this song more musical? How do we do that? Well, there are these things called dynamics, right? Which is how loud you play. So in the beginning, you have mezzo piano, which is medium. It's kind of probably what we did. For the first 2 lines, that's what we have. But that's not all. There's something I kind of do automatically that I take for granted that I know about. You always want to play the line with the melody, this part, a little bit louder. So there's a balancing thing we need to work on, right? So if you think about it, if you played the left hand by itself, nobody would really know what that is. They're like, what is that? It sounds like you're doing some kind of exercise. Well, that's really what we call an accompaniment. That's supposed to go along with the melody. If you think about it, if you heard this by itself, you would know what it is, so long as you're familiar with Swan Lake, right? So you always want to sing out the melody. That's another tip. So work on the dynamics, work on singing out the melody. And as you can see here, here's the next line. Now, what did I do there? I got louder. Why did I do that? Well, there's a crescendo there, right? So that's more of the dynamics. And then actually, if you go to the next line, it gets a little more complicated where you have a decrescendo here, gets a little softer, and then it builds again. Sorry, I'm not using my finger because I'm concentrating on the dynamics and talking at the same time. So let me try it again from here. So that brings me to my next thing. If there's a part you start working on, you start adding the dynamics in and your fingers, don't quite make it, play those treble areas again. So identifying the treble areas is another tip I have for you, whether you're a beginner or more advanced. try it one more time with the fingering I suggested. It's right there, that part again. There, I got it that time. So you just want to play over the hardest areas a few times until you get the whole thing. You don't want to just play the whole song from beginning to end every single time. And that's because that will make the beginning of the piece really, really good. Way better than the rest of the piece because you're starting from the beginning all the time. And you don't want to just play areas you're good at as well, like over and over again. You want to really work on the problem areas, and that's really how you make the most progress whenever you're trying to learn a song. Don't always start from the beginning. I mean, obviously, when you first start learning it, that makes sense to learn it from the beginning. But as you work on it a few days or a few weeks, start from different places, start and mark different areas that are giving trouble to you, and start from those areas and work those out. And then work in the dynamics and all the other stuff we talked about. Now, there's more than that, but in this song, that's really what we have. And I think for a beginner / early intermediate lesson, I think that's a perfect scope for what we should do. So this has been Swan Lake by Tchaikovsky. You can get this version. Unfortunately, the site actually started doing like paid sheet music. It was only like $1 or something, but makingmusicfun.net is where I got that in case you print it out for yourself instead of just following along with the video. But the video works as well. Like I said, feel free to watch parts of the video multiple times to make sure you have the grasp. This isn't like the kind of thing you want to watch just one time through. So again, if you learned something, you like lessons like this, give a thumbs up and subscribe for more great lessons like this one. I have great content coming out a lot, like every week, pretty much for the most part. I've been very consistent this new year in 2016, depending on when you're watching this, about putting out consistent content. So if you want the latest and greatest and the updates and all that stuff, remember to subscribe. So this has been Tim from Lessons on the Web. Thanks so much for watching this video tutorial with us, and hopefully I'll see you for the next lesson. Thank you so much. All right, everybody in the live stream, I just wanted to do that little outro, kind of just, so I can piece together the video a little bit better. So what did everybody think? I'm glad it's working now, Rich. It looks like there's only a few people here, but like I said, I can make this into a video later and put it up, and then more people will see it, so not a problem. So how's everybody doing tonight? I didn't have a chance to talk to anybody. Is Manny here? Manny, I made this lesson just for you. You had better be here. I'm just kidding. I understand if you're not. But I know Rich is here and some other people, so feel free to say hello. I do have one more segment I want to do, but I want to kind of just, see if there's any questions or anything so far. Nobody has any comments? Well, I know there's like a little bit of a delay, but yeah, YouTube is being a little wonky, although once I restarted the stream, it started to work a whole lot better. Rich, this song is probably like, I would say early intermediate, meaning like, you know how to read music fairly well. You know how to change hand position. That's the part that really makes it intermediate, because a lot of beginner songs, like Jingle Bells, I always use Jingle Bells as an example. You stay in one hand position pretty much the whole time, so that's really beginner. This one, there's not like a lot of sharps or flats in it, so it's not too bad. The rhythm's fairly easy, but you are changing hand position, and then there are like a couple of little tricky sections. So I would say this is an early intermediate piece. Probably somebody who's been taking or learning for a few months, maybe a few years, depending, on when you started. But that's what I would say. Definitely not as advanced as what we did on last Friday, you think? Or don't you think so? Because we did that Bach prelude, and that thing is hard. That thing's tough. And then the fugues are even tougher. And then, of course, I could do even tougher ones. but I felt like I should scale it back because I feel like the YouTube channel's like best for beginner stuff. If you want now don't get me wrong, there's some intermediate stuff on the channel, and I will put some things out now and again. But a lot of the intermediate and advanced stuff's over on my website, of course, lessonsontheweb.com. If you're watching, this right now or recording of this, obviously you want to go there after you watch the video. But just keep in mind, if you're really looking for that next step up, check out lessonsontheweb.com. But if not, keep checking out the YouTube channel. And there's, of course, more great stuff on the way to keep us all, learning along. Rich, it depends. Sometimes they will give you the fingering, and that will kind of clue you in, like, ooh, I really need to change fingers. It's something you get a handle on because, like, once I get to that second line, I know that if I hit the thumb on the A there, I'm going to run out of places to play the notes. So I know that I have to change there. So basically, anytime that I foresee or it catches up to me first, I see that I'm going to run out of fingers. The key with fingering, everybody always asks me, what's the deal with fingering? How do I know? And then part of the answer is you kind of just get acclimated to it over time. But the real answer is fingering is all about not running out of fingers. So, right, like I mentioned the C major scale earlier, you don't want to start out the scale with fingers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And why is that? Well, that's because you have to contort your hand in all sorts of ways to play the rest of it, right? So, using proper fingering allows us to play up and down the keyboard very effectively. I hope if I was sitting at the right distance here. Okay, is it good to keep the key pressed down and then just swap with another finger? It depends. If you're first learning it and you're going nice and slow, then yeah, it's fine to keep the one finger where it's at. But after you learn the piece, you really want to go by the note duration. So, if you have a half note here, and sometimes it'll have a half note while you're playing. Sounds kind of cool. Anyway, so if I had a half note here and then other notes, then yeah, you would keep the one held down. But, if you're playing eighth notes, so say at the beginning of Swan Lake here, you have the half note, but as soon as that half note's done, I have eighth notes, right? So I'm not going to, I can play them legato, like they're written, smoothly connect them. But you really don't want to keep them held down, because that's just not how it's meant to be played, and it blends together too much. So you want to keep certain notes held down, but only if the music tells you so. But if you're first learning a song, then I wouldn't worry about it too much. Great questions, by the way, Rich. So if there's anybody else watching that wants to share, feel free to do so. If not, totally cool with me. Seems like we have a little bit smaller of a crowd tonight, but that's okay. Oh. Hard to explain. Okay, I meant like seamlessly switching fingers. Yeah, yeah, it is a little hard to kind of get what you're saying. Like if staccato, you want to come off the note right away. If it's legato, you want to connect them together. But I don't know if I'm totally getting the question. I wonder where everybody's at tonight. We usually have like a lot more regulars here. Shesk is gone. Manny is gone. I don't know what happened. We had Molly for a while, but that's okay. I know, Friday night people are probably doing other things, I would imagine. Okay, so I am going to. We'll probably end it a little early since we're like smaller of a group tonight, and we blew through this. But what I will do is I'm gonna make like another segment so I can make a video out of that for people. And really, what it's gonna do is what I'm gonna start doing once a month. I'm gonna take part of the stream to do this because I have a bigger audience watching it. So what I'm gonna do basically is I'm gonna go over like what my plans are for the month for lessons on the web, both the YouTube channel and the website. So I mentioned it intermittently throughout the live stream sometimes, but I'm gonna make like a whole segment for it, maybe like 5-10 minutes just talking about what's happening. Okay, he says, what are your favorite scales to do? I like B flat major. B flat major is good. B major is also good. C major is okay. It's kind of boring. I like them all. The one I always struggled with learning them was A flat major, but I still like that one, especially now that I finally learned it. Well, not finally. I mean, I probably learned it a decade ago, like for real, like got it really good. But which is scary. But anyway, let me think. I don't know. F sharp major is pretty good. I don't think there's one I dislike. But yeah, I'm not really partial to either one. I like in terms of major and minor, I don't really have a preference. Yeah, I don't know. I do like the harmonic minor a lot better, which has the leading tone rather than the natural minor. All right, so I am going to get ready for this next part of the lesson. So let me see. Let's do this. There we go. So if you take a look, oh man, we're streaming live right now. So I'm going to do a little intro in case you think it's odd the way I'm talking and addressing everybody. Rich, to ask your question really quick. Months. You know what? For the first maybe year or two in college, I didn't practice all summer because I was just so sick of practicing because they missed practice for like 3 to 4 hours a day and I wasn't used to it. But then like the last 2 years of college, I practiced all throughout the summer. Because I think I got used to it and wasn't getting as burned out on it. So I just think it made me a better player and that made like things easier. But 3 months is probably as long as I went, which is kind of a long time. Even for me now, I touch the piano every single day because I teach a lot. I teach all the time. So I'm playing a lot. I'm also trying to get some songs ready for some courses that I'm going to make. That I'm going to talk about pretty soon. But yeah, that's about the longest I've ever gone. Okay, I'm going to do a little intro. It's going to sound kind of weird, but that's okay. Hello there, everybody on YouTube. This is Tim from, you're at the channel already, Lessons on the Web. You know, the channel that's dedicated to teaching the world piano and music. So I'm going to tell you in this short little video basically what my plans are for Lessons on the Web this month. The month is May right now, but depending on when you're watching it, but May at the time of this recording, 2016. So I'm going to tell you like exactly the direction, like what's been coming out for the channel, the direction of the channel, and things like that. So if you have any comments or questions about the channel, feel free to leave them in the description when you watch this video, and give this video a thumbs up anyway, even though you're probably not going to learn a whole lot of music from this anyway. Just let everybody else know that this is important stuff. So what you want to do, well, not what you want to do, what I'm going to do when you first go on the channel is I made a new banner a couple months ago already, new icon and everything. So that's not really new, but what we will show you is if you go to the videos section, we have a bunch of clips that look very similar. So what's going to be happening with them? Well, they're not going anywhere. What I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be making new thumbnails for them. If you look at this video here, practicing tough piano pieces for advanced and beginning, that's kind of in line with the new kind of thumbnail style I'm going to go for. But what I'm doing is I'm having a Photoshop professional editing out the background so I can add in like a different background. I'm gonna have like a stage with a piano on it in the background. The font will be a little bit easier to read. So this is like just kind of the template of where I'm going with it. But the new one I'm making now is actually even a lot better than that one. But that's generally what you can expect. A picture of me looking weird, and some text telling you a brief description on what the video is about, rather than just having all these clips where I think they're great, like you can see everything, but the problem is they all look very similar, right? So if you look at this one from right now, there's me, the music, there's that one, there's me, the music. So it looks too similar. So I'm going to be changing the thumbnails though. Not a big deal, but on some of the older piano videos, I think it'll help because it'll let people know, these videos are all in the same series. In terms of the growth of the channel, it's growing okay, 32,174 subscribers. I'm very proud of that, by the way, and I couldn't have done it without all of you, so thank you again. We also recently reached 500 Facebook likes, as some of you have seen, and actually now we're up to 550. It's been only like a few days, so thank you so much for that. Hopefully there's a lot more growth in terms of the Facebook and the YouTube. But in terms of the YouTube, my plans for the YouTube is to meet with a guy, Tim Schmoyer, who actually runs the channel Video Creators, and his channel's all about helping YouTubers grow their channel and everything. So I'm gonna do a little bit of consulting with him. He doesn't know it yet, but I will be contacting him very shortly since he does that sort of thing. And basically, we're going to talk about how to make the channel better. So that'll make the content better. That'll make the look better. And then like all the little loose ends will be better. Like the description and everything will be really solid for all the videos. And then playlists is another thing I'll probably work on with him. But right now, a lot of people don't know is if you go to the main channel page, youtube.com/user/lessonsontheweb/ /playlists, or you can press the playlist button. It gives you all the playlists for my videos. Musician is the best way to learn, practice. No, it's not. I'm just kidding. Musician might be fine. I don't know. I was just kidding. But anyway, I hope I didn't get a copyright because of that, because that was somebody else's video. But anyway, here, you can go through all of my playing the piano series, and this is the order they're intended in. As you can see, even here, the thumbnails don't match up, and they're not the most attractive things. They're yellow with the red thing. I thought they'd be eye-catching. This one's not bad. How to read, music for beginners. That one looks pretty good. The one above it looks pretty good. So I'm going to be making ones that look similar to that, but even better, even more refined and things like that. I know the thumbnails aren't really a big deal to you. So basically what I want to tell you is that I'm going to make the channel better all the way around. It's going to be more polished. I'm going to find out, the content both that you want and that I want to make. One thing I'm really thinking of is, since I've made a lot of these videos a long time ago, like this video, it looks okay, right? Like you can tell what's going on, but as you can see, I just don't have all the cool equipment I do now, and the microphone wasn't as good, lighting wasn't quite as good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make like an abridged series of some of these earlier videos. I'm probably even going to do that during the live stream and then clip it together, you know, and make it even better. But basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to like say, okay, this is playing the piano, the abridged series or something. Something weird like that. But basically what it's going to do is it's going to walk you through these lessons, some of the topics we talked before, but it'll go faster. So it'll like help catch you up more, and it'll be more refined. Like the quality will be a lot better and things like that. Because I feel like with some of these older videos, well, I do get the point across. I feel like I can teach it a lot better with the stuff I have going on now. So I think that's kind of the direction I'm going to go, at least for a little while, at least cover like some of the first videos in like condensed versions of that. And then things like music theory, I'm going to go over the circle of fifths again. Actually, Sunday live stream is really for that. By the way, we live stream Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and Friday 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time if you're not aware of that. But that's generally the things you can expect from the channel. Bigger, better, and higher quality. So I'm always, you know, trying to put more effort into that. By the way, also making a Patreon. I don't have it completely set up yet, so I don't think you can even donate to it yet. But that's in case you want to contribute to the channel, because, you know, if, you know, this whole thing is only possible by, you know, people watching, people sharing, people signing up through the website, and any small donations you ever want to give. Of course, I'm not going to beg you for them. But, you know, any kind of small contribution, whether it's, like I said, it's just liking the video or, you know, contributing, you know, monetarily, both of those are great, and any of those are great. And, of course, sharing these videos will also help people, you know, that might be interested in learning how to play the piano. So that was my update for May on the state of the YouTube channel and where it's headed in the next few months. So this has been Tim from Lessons on the Web, and I'll see you for the next video. Okay, so that was my little outro for the YouTube part. What we're going to do now... So any questions about the YouTube channel? We did a live stream a while ago talking about generally what we would like to see out of the YouTube channel in terms of videos. So I have marked those down. Some of them I am doing, like the tutorial you saw today, you know, is a suggestion I had a while back, and then that last time Manny actually asked me again. Excuse me. And then I think next time we're going to do quarter note triplets, which Rich had asked about. So if you attend the streams, there's like little, you know, you can give me little suggestions, and I'll try to work those in as best as I can. Okay, on to the website. All right, let me do an intro for the website. It sounds silly, but we're going to do it again. Well, hello there, everybody. Tim here from You Know Where, Lessons on the Web, the channel that is devoted to teaching the world piano and music. And I'm here today to talk to you about my website. I'm not going to tell you to sign up for my website. You can do that if you want to, and especially if you want to help contribute towards, you know, the goal Lessons on the Web has in terms of, you know, making things better and better, making better lessons, and reaching a broader audience. But I just want to tell you what's new with the website. So if you've been on the website recently, you may know some minor tweaks and changes, or some major tweaks and changes, and those will continue to be refined until I make, you know, the website the best it possibly can. And then even then, I'll probably be changing things around a little bit just to keep it fresh. So I'm going to scroll down here. I'm not going to like walk you through all the stuff of, you know, all the selling points. But as you notice, like I kind of has spaced out the page a little bit better with some pictures and things like that. But, you know, that's kind of boring stuff. I don't want to talk to you about that too long. Some things that are coming to the channel, though, is that if you go to the free services section and you go to the YouTube gallery, I haven't updated it in a while, And that's because I am actually in the process of making a new YouTube gallery. And what this will be for is you can watch all of my videos, all the series in one place. And they'll be connected to, the YouTube channel and things like that. Each of the videos will also contain a description along with the playing examples that are kind of there now, but they're not really organized all that great. So it'll be organized a lot better. You'll be able to see a lot of the newer videos that I haven't been posting here. Like, I recommend still going here because it's a great place to get all the printable examples for the earlier series. But I will be updating this in a big way. But that's why you haven't seen any updates on it, is because I'm actually making something like totally new. Not totally new, but a new format that will be a lot better. By the way, back to the main page, I'm working a lot more with my assistant. We are working a lot more on our, let me get it here, our newsletter, which you can sign up for right here. It says get free academy and content updates right to your email. Free, totally free. I'm not going to sell your email to anybody. You're not going to get spammed to death. Basically, this is like to keep on the pulse with the channel, like the new stuff coming out. There's so much new stuff coming out in terms of articles, tips, videos, and things like that, that this is like probably the best place to do it because it gets sent right to your email. And that way you kind of know all the things that are going on. You also get some academy updates on my academy here, basically on what's being added to that, which brings me to my next point. I am adding a lot of new courses this summer. How many? Anywhere between 5 and 8, I would say. I'm developing one of them, and then I've gotten some of the work back already, and it's looking fantastic, to tell you the truth. I've actually hired some music professionals, music education professionals like myself, to develop some courses for me. Now, I'll still be teaching most of the videos in those courses, because, I have the setup and, some people aren't comfortable with it. But there will be actually a couple of new videos of some people or some voices you may not have heard before, but they are good people. I sound like Donald Trump. They're great people, but they are. They're really great people. In terms of, the quality of their work and everything. They've submitted, they're working on the courses right now. They'll probably be done somewhere around the middle of June. I'll post them up from the middle of June. Probably will take me until the middle of July. After that, they will be posted. Those courses include rock piano. That's one I'm developing myself. There is one coming on ear training, just an introduction to ear training. So if you want to train your ears, you can become actually a much better musician. That's hearing intervals, being able to hear chords, being able to hear different things in music. And then there's another ear training course, which is called Dictation, Introduction to Dictation, which is being able to hear a piece of music and then write it down. So if I play Jingle Bells, I always use Jingle Bells. You'd be able to say, okay, like what notes are quarter notes, where they are in the staff, things like that. And this may seem tedious, but it's really good at developing your musicianship skills. This is stuff I learned in college. So now we're starting to get beyond like intermediate stuff into more advanced stuff that you would expect to learn, at a real music school, which is the whole thing. I really want to make this as like the best I possibly can. I put tons of work into it. I'm crazy, but I love it. What else is coming? There is advanced music theory is coming. Tonal harmony. Basically understanding the relationships between notes, why certain notes sound certain ways, or certain intervals and certain chords sound certain ways, and different chord progressions and things like that. And then there's another one that I'm totally blanking on right now. But anyway, those are 4 of the 5 great courses that are definitely planned. And then after that, I know I have some more ear training courses that my course developers want to develop after that. And probably I want to at least get some pop, like a pop course and a jazz. Oh, somebody's developing jazz for me. That was the other one. So he's developing jazz composition for me. So you'll learn how to, write your own jazz music. And you'll have a much better understanding on how to play jazz music as well. I'm looking at you, Manny. That'll be a great course for you. So a lot of things coming, and I'm really putting a lot of effort and a lot of time, a lot of money, but, I love it. So it's totally worth it. So I'm trying to get things, the very, very best they can. So I hope, you appreciate that, whether you follow the YouTube channel, the website, or, me on social media. All of that is really good. So I just wanted to fill you in on what's going on with Lessons on the Web Academy and the website. I did a video before, part of this live stream actually, of talking about the YouTube channel. So I wanted to just fill you in here. So this has been Tim from Lessons on the Web. Thanks so much. And I'll talk to you at the next lesson. Thank you. Okay, back to the live stream. Solaray says, how many different scales are there? I've heard 96. There probably are 96. Let me see. There's 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, wait, sorry. There's 12 major scales. I forgot that you count that first one. And then there's 24 minor scales if you count natural minor and harmonic minor. And then there's melodic minor, so that's 30, so that's 40 some. And then you have all the modes. And then you have whole tone scales. Yeah, 96 sounds about right. There might even be more than that. There are a lot of them. Rich, I kind of come from a musical family. Now, when I went to music school, a lot of those people were students were really from musical families. Like, really were. That, like, their dad played piano, or, their mom played something, violin, whatever. Brothers and sisters were involved in it. They were music majors, but not me. I am the only professional musician in the family. My brother plays guitar sometimes, not recently. I don't think he better get back on that. And then my mother played clarinet a long time ago, like when she was much younger. My dad plays around the guitar sometimes. He's not super professional, but yeah, the answer is yeah. I mean, there's some value in music in my family, but we're not like the quintessential musical family. All right, I think I'm gonna call it a day pretty soon. I'm holding up pretty well. Energy's okay, but you know what? Since it's only me, Rich, and Solar, am I saying that right? Solar Ray. I apologize if I mispronounce your name. I think I'm going to end it here because I've answered a lot of Rich's questions. I do love your questions, Rich, though. They are very enriching. Ha ha. It's getting late. What can I say? Okay, so I hope everybody enjoyed tonight. We are meeting again on Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Remember to give the stream a thumbs up, or when you see it posted later, give those a thumbs up as well. It really helps the channel, and it really helps let other people know, this is a quality video, or that you enjoyed this video, or that you learned something. That's the main thing. I always want to get thumbs up if you learn something. I think that because that's what my channel is all about, as you know. It's really dedicated to teaching the entire world piano. How far am I going to get? I don't know. I have taught people from all over the globe so far, pretty much, in places I never would have expected. Africa, Egypt. I had somebody from the city of Townsville the other day, which I think is in Australia. And if you ever watched Powerpuff Girls from a long time ago, not even that long. I think they did a reboot, but they're from the city of Townsville. So I thought that was pretty funny. If you're that person watching this, I noticed. But and welcome to the Academy, of course. And China, and then all over the United States, Europe, France, those kind of places. So pretty much everywhere. I'm sure there's like remote places that they just don't have computers or whatever. When will I show my cat? I don't know. Like I said, my cat would hate me if I got him up. He's old. Like, he's really old. Like, he's an old man. Basically. I could take a picture of him. That's probably the best I could do. Or I could take the camera upstairs. But Well, I can't take this stuff upstairs since I'm streaming with it, but I could take like a little video. Excuse me. Take a little video of that. All right, everybody, I'm going to let you go. I think we had a pretty good talk today. Yeah, that was like, that it was really a video for Manny. Manny, where are you? If you're watching this, I don't know, man. You got to come to the next one. What can I say? But that's okay. I understand you probably have a life. You might even have a concert tonight, which is totally cool. So I don't mean to give you too much trouble. But yeah, we did that. The Swan Lake. I hope everybody enjoyed that. If you feel like, well, I don't know. I don't even know where I'm going. Like I said, it's getting late. That's okay, Rich. That's all right. It's all right. I'll try to show you a picture of him. He's old and scraggly, and he's having a little trouble walking, but he's doing okay. He's hanging in there, knock on wood. Oof. But anyway, thanks everybody. Have a great night, and thank you for attending the streams as always. This has been You Know Who from You Know Where, teaching you know what. So thank you as always, and I'll talk to you on Sunday, or next Friday, or on the channel, or on the Facebook page. Follow me on Facebook, by the way, or like the page. The Twitter. What else can I list? But anyway, I'll talk to you all later on. Thank you so much. You have a great weekend too, Rich. Thank you. And everybody.